lineup and you see the Ola Rigbys and Kalfasses, there's plenty of quality still in that lineup. So to be able to bring him off the bench is a real boost for them as well.
So looking further ahead at the back of this one, both these teams next week have fixtures which are tough but winnable. Tigers go to Riverina, which is always a difficult one, and Canberra FC travel to Mackellar to play Belconnen. So how important, in your opinion, is it for them, either of these teams, to get a result today to keep in touch at the top?
It's absolutely vital. I think obviously Canberra FC have a little bit more breathing room, but Tigers need to get something on the board today, absolutely.
So in your opinion, we'll go through the sides in just a moment, who's going to win today and why?
It still seems like Tigers FC are working out what they need to do in that defensive third. Canberra FC are a much more settled lineup. So for me, at home, Canberra FC, I think are going to get the win today.
One thing we're not expecting, as I said, is a goalless draw. Games between these two sides often bring up lots of goals. I was reminded only yesterday of a game they played down at Nijong that I was at a few years ago, where Cooma were up 5-1 at half-time and ended up losing that match 8-6. Cooma, though, defensively have always been that kind of way, haven't they? They're very good going forward, but for some reason or other, their back four often seems to let them down. Looking at their team today, though, there's some young boys in there, isn't there, that might be able to rectify that? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, Michael Kidder appears to be set up as the right back. He's a wonderful footballer, traditionally a midfielder, but he's someone who can play. So, like I said, it appears makeshift at times, but there's some real quality there. So Gabby's, if we talk about his football philosophy, has always been to outscore the opponent rather than settle for a 1-0 win.
Often games between these two are feisty affairs as well. There's some real, I wouldn't say egos out there, but there's some big-name players that like to get involved and don't mind a tackle or two.
No, there's winners out there too. That's what I like to, and that's why these games are so entertaining. They'll leave it all on the pitch though, and it will always be interesting.
Midfield battle sure to be a good one today. Dom Colicello, Tony Madafari and Nicholas Vijafanye in there for the Tigers, up against Matthew Waters, Ian Graham, Tom Milosevic and Thomas James. That central midfield battle with Ian Graham and Thomas Milosevic in there is vital for this one.
It will be very interesting, and Dom Colicello, who's a wonderful footballer as well, has got his work cut out today to make sure that there's a balance to this Tigers FC side that we talk about, because again, that back four is the most interesting thing from this opening 30 minutes that we're going to be watching with Tigers FC today.
We saw Vijafanye's debut against Tuggeranong United, the team, and you beat them that day 4-3. Brings a lot of quality to this side. He hasn't quite settled as well as he may have hoped at the moment. He had a very good debut, scored a couple of goals, pulls the strings for them in there, and I think he's just about getting his feet at the moment.
It takes time, and it's hard to put a time frame on it.
Well, Canberra FC coming onto the field. They're going to be playing in their traditional red shirts, white shorts and blue socks. Very much, you can see on the far side there, the Croatian flag, flag up on the wall with the Australian one as well. Big Croatian background at this club, isn't there?
But it's nice. I mean, we talk a lot about what the A-League tried to change, but, what I like about this club is that heritage, and I think that's a big part of the appeal.
Well, they had the Croatian Cup here a few months back, and it was huge. There was about 4,000 people in here for the final, which was between St Albans and the Gold Coast, and it was a massive occasion, and the heritage, as you say, in the community is a big part of this club.
I think so, and I wouldn't like them to change it ever. I think that's what we enjoy, and what they bring is that culture to the football club and the community at large.
We're looking at the teams then, starting with Canberra FC. Jordan Thurtell is in goal this afternoon. They're back four. Aidan Brunskill and Marco Verkic are the fullbacks. Matt Gerbischer and Daniel Subasic, the central defenders. Flat four across the midfield. We're seeing Matthew Waters on the left, Thomas James on the right, Thomas Milicevic and Ian Graham in the middle, Michael Tarazi and Kofi Danning providing the firepower up front.
And I think Thomas James will have a little bit more freedom than perhaps Waters on the other side, allowing him to float inside and create as he wills. He's certainly one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, and they've got to give him that luxury.
Tigers FC lineup as follows. Jacob Cole in goal. They've got four across the back. Michael Keita right back. Osman Daramy, Tony Spaseski and Osman Fofana. Their midfield three. Tony Madafari, Dom Colicello and Nicholas Vijafanye. Up front, Jeremiah Sabara, Alex Olaribi and Nikos Kalfas, although we think that might be quite a fluid front six.
It normally is. It normally is. But Ibarra, when we watched him against our side, I thought he was outstanding in a losing side regardless, but I thought he had a really good match, and again, he's an exciting player to watch.
Return to this venue for goalkeeper Jacob Cole as well, captaining the Tigers FC. Before kickoff, I saw Adam Parakovic, a former goalkeeper here as well. He's now moved up to Queensland and playing his football up there, but he's back this weekend, and I understand he's got engaged and he's getting married soon, so congratulations to him. Referee today is Bruno Kell. We seem to do a lot of games with Bruno in the middle on Bar TV. His face is very familiar to those of you that are watching all these. Alex McConaughey and Ira Dudley on the lines. Ira Dudley on this near side, Alex McConaughey, the more experienced of the two ARs, on the far side. Beautiful day here, Mitch. We're not sure whether we should be warm or cold, because in the sunshine it's baking, isn't it? And when you get into
I'm
the
struggling.
shade here,
The code's on, off, on, off.
it's for those of you that watched last night, we're pretty happy that it's a bit warmer. Freezing cold at McKellar yesterday in that game. We had a bright start there. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes for that one. We'll see if we can get a couple of early ones today. Michael Tarazi and Kofi Downing over the ball, ready to get us underway. And we're expecting a fast-flowing open football match here at Deakin Stadium in the NPL live on Bar TV Sports. Canberra FC attacking the goal to our left in the first half. Early touch at the back for Verkic. And gives a touch to Jordan Thurtell. Can't miss Jordan Thurtell today in that lime green goalkeeper's kick, and that's a huge knock forward. The chase is on for Spaseski, and he does well to knock it straight back to Jacob Cole. Both goalkeepers, good shot stoppers.
Yeah, both outstanding goalkeepers. Distribution as well as the traditional qualities that you're looking for in a goalkeeper.
Sebastian sent that forward, and it's sent straight back. The challenge by Kalfas. On the far side is James. Immediately under pressure and goes back to Thurtell. In midfield is Vijafanye and Ibarra, and already it looks, Malafari rather, already it looks like it's a front three of some sort with Ibarra in the number 10 row. Hank will come to that in a second. Here's Ola Rigby, opportunity here. He could slide Kalfas in, comes to Ibarra, possibly the wrong option, and didn't pick him out either, and that's a chance wasted for the Tigers.
Great check from Jeremy there.
Ibarra looking for Kalfas over the top, and he's going to get him behind here. Nikos Kalfas, the flag goes up though, and he clatters into the goalkeeper. The flag is up for offside.
He appears to be in trouble too here.
Yeah, he'd already flagged for the offside. Going back to that earlier chance, Mitch, opportunity there when Alex Olorugbi got in, and perhaps he picked the wrong ball.
Yeah, I think so. He certainly didn't get the pace of the ball right when he played it, because Ibarra was coming around, and it could have been a real opportunity for Tigers to open the scoring in nearly less than 90 seconds.
Yep, Kalfas had pulled left as well, and there was a real problem for Daniel Sebastic to decide which way to go, and in the end I think he picked the right one.
I think so too.
And what followed was academic, as it's a free kick for offside, which Thurtell, we've already seen he's got a hefty whack on him. Looking to this near side for Waters. Keita's there, and he beats him comfortably in the air, Waters. Helped away by Spaseski, only as far as Verkic. Graham. Gerbischer. Shaved all his hair off. Mighty Gerbischer. Brunskill. Looking for the runner, James. First time he's got in today, and Daramy stands him up. This will be a good battle this afternoon, I think.
That'll be very interesting on that flank. Both sides appear to be lining up in a 4-4-2. Jeremy, as opposed to sort of a floating 10, seems to be coming out on the right-hand side defensively, leaving Kalfas and Alex up top.
Well, James will take the first set piece. Gerbischer's jogged his way forward. Sebastian is in there as well. It's a deep one to the far post, and it misses everybody. Gerbischer tried to get a touch on it and couldn't keep it in. They'll count that as a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it wasn't a great delivery, to be fair.
Cole then will take the goal kick. Goes shorts to Keita. Ibarra didn't get that one right. Shanked it into midfield, and Milicevic picks it up. Verkic. Back to Gerbischer. Under pressure from Kalfas. Let's chip forward though, and Spaseski's challenge was good. Full through Ibarra. Another shank clearance. Verkic gets another chance to pick a pass. Sebastic. Space for Brunskill, looking for a run ahead of him, which is made by Danning on the edge of the penalty area. Daramy's back with a firm challenge, but they've given the ball away again. And Milicevic helps it to this near side. Now a bit of space if Verkic comes wide to Waters. He's got a good left foot, Waters. And elects to take on Keita and goes down under the challenge, no doing.
Too big a touch, unfortunately, and Keita, like I said, he's rapid over those short distances, so too big a touch, he's going to make up that ground.
Surprised Waters didn't swing that one in with the left foot that he's got.
An early delivery probably would have been the better option in hindsight, but that's the luxury we have here.
Early stages, of course. No goals so far. Coming up to the 5 minutes gone. Ibarra will challenge, but Vrkic wins it in the air with a thumping header. Meaty connection there from Marko Vrkic.
Wonderful, and that's what you want from these guys at the back. Dominating those balls aerially and letting those strikers know that they're not going to get anything easy.
Vrkic will take the throw just in front of the main stand here where we're located. And he finds Ibarra. Oloripi, another former Canberra FC player, of course, and Nikos Kalfas had a spell here last year as well. So former Canberra FC players on this Tigers lineup.
Definitely. A couple of cheap turnovers from both sides early here. I mean, there's not a lot of consistency to the game.
Vijafanye raking past looking for Ibarra, and that's a good piece of defending. The runner was tracking. Gerby should have gone across. I think it was, in fact, it was the fullback. Was it James making the run back there? It was, wasn't it? Thomas James going back to defend.
He's currently in the right back row.
Kalfas swings it into the penalty. Ibarra coming on the far post. Little shove on the back of Vrkic there, though. Not going to get away with that one.
Worth a try, though.
Now, we could see it from here. It's always a difficult place to come, though, isn't it, Mitch, to get some points? Deakin Stadium?
Absolutely. You know, you talk a lot about having a fortress and somewhere where teams don't enjoy coming in. And it is like that, particularly when you line up against someone on the ball like Thomas James and you watch him, he's just so dangerous.
Great touch to bring that down from Thurtell. Daramy sticking to him like glue in the opening stages. Obviously, Gabby Wilkes giving him a role there.
Another athletic player, and I think that's not a bad matchup for Tigers FC.
Dunning's appealing for the corner. Not going to get it, though he is. It must have come off. Osman Fofana, who was back there. Couldn't really tell from where we were, but...
He appeared to let it run, which would have suggested that he thought the final touch was from Canberra FC.
Well, Alex McConaughey disagreed. And gives FC their second corner of the afternoon, which Thomas James will take. Usual suspects in the penalty area. It's swung towards the far post. Good clearance, though, and Tigers can break. There's a chance, perhaps, for Madafari. A little tug back there from James, perhaps. And Bruno Kell says yes. Free kick to the Tigers, and that was probably a judicious foul to give away, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a funny one. It was probably the right thing, and he did enough in that he stopped play, but hasn't received any sort of caution for breaking up the attack.
Which is interesting. Tigers have to make do with a free kick, and that's not a good one.
Again, if you look at that observation, Tigers have essentially got four up top.
Fofana. Now Madafari. Looking to swing it into the danger zone, and unfortunately for Tigers, that's too close to Thurtell, and he's quick to get his team on the move. Out to Waters. No movement forward, so has to go back to Graham. He switches the play.
Yeah, they're certainly not pressing here at all and allowing him an opportunity to build up. And there's Thomas James coming inside as we expected.
Space for James, advantage towards goal, slides it in. Real chance for Tarazi here. Rolls for Danning towards the far post. Waters comes in. Back to James. Shifted onto that right foot, looking for a shooting angle perhaps. In the end, is forced to go back to Milesevic. He tries his luck from distance, and that's meat and drink for Jacob Cole.
Needs to be a lot better if it's going to beat him from that distance.
Good break, though, and for a moment it looked like Tarazi was going to be in, but he let it run for Danning. That was just forced a bit wide. Here is Danning. Limped off here in the cup and against ANU, but made a recovery. James is allowed to turn. Tries to shift it wide, but it's a good foot in by Keita. Now here's Vijafanye. Kalfas. Nice turn in the middle of the park, looking for Olorigby. Tried to get goal side, goes down in a crumpled heap under the challenge from Matt Gerbischer. Getting hoots of derision from the crowd. Still down. Maybe that's his pride wounded more than anything. Didn't look much in it, did it, Mitch?
It was hard to tell from here, but We'll know pretty quickly after the physio if he's got some of the magic water.
No, he's not even getting the physio on. Gets up, hobbles it off. Maybe it's a bit of a sore one. In front of the Ivan Bullen stand. I see that's called over there now. Mitch?
It's a nice touch.
It is a nice touch. Did a lot for this football club.
Yep. $10 and it's been fairly low-key, actually, if anything.
Thinking the same thing. It's been felt to set itself ignite at the moment.
Strangely quiet.
No real efforts of note so far. Here's Verkic. Milicevic. Good foot in by Keita, and then that's one for Ola Rigby to chase, and Subasic needs to judge the bounce, and he just about got away with that one. And finds Brunskill with a nice pass. Danning to James. Graham looks for Danning, but he's overhit that one. Plenty of movement, though, in the front three, as we expected.
Plenty of movement, but as again, we've said this, there's not a lot of passes sticking at the moment.
Neither side really settled into the fray at the moment. Ola Rigby wins the header. It's a firm challenge by Brunskill, but he's lost out to Ola Rigby, who's got it back and hurdles the challenge and heads towards goal. Now here's a chance for Vijafanyi in the area, bearing down on goal. Nicholas Vijafanyi finds the bottom corner, and the Tigers lead. When he got in, the opportunity was there, and the Argentinian import finishes with aplomb, and it's the Tigers who take the lead.
I love their little finish as well. They've broken away, drawn the defence across and made that space.
And did it mean a lot to him? We were just talking at the top of the broadcast, Mitch, about how he's settled into the side and he's becoming a more and more important player as the weeks go on, and that's his first goal for a couple of weeks, and didn't he take it well?
It was a beautiful little finish. Like I said, kept his composure, and you talk about young players when they get in that position sometimes saying, you know, blasting it over the bar. He's rolled that to the side and hit the side netting.
Tigers in front. What's the response for Canberra FC? James. Keita needs to be on his guard here, and he is. Just thought for a moment his touch was going to put it into the path of Waters. Plenty of time to go, though, Mitch.
Oh, absolutely. And I think there's going to be plenty of goals, to be honest.
Well, we said it wasn't going to end 0-0. Chance here for Canberra FC for immediate response. They have a free kick. Bruno Kell having a quick chat with Jerry Ibarra. And Thomas James is in no hurry to get across and take this one.
You'd like to see him hit this with a little bit more pace on the ball, not a floater.
But this is going to be a right footer, so it should swing in.
Swing in. Gabresha and Subasic at the back, and they'll be the targets.
Yeah. Graham's at the front post, just retreating a little bit now. There is the ball, it is towards Graham, who flicks it on and shouts here for the equaliser, and it's turned into the net from close range. Canberra FC have equalised within minutes. It's 1-1.
I certainly wouldn't be speaking out of turn to say that Gabby will be disappointed with the defending from the set piece.
It was Daniel Subasic who got in there, I think. It was just bounced across the penalty area from Graham's flick, and that flick just took it away. And there was Subasic to just sweep it home from close range.
It's incredibly disappointing to be to come to a ground like this, come 1-0 up, and then from a set piece concede so quickly.
We've said it before this season, Mitch, will say it again, and it happened to you guys against Olympic. You're at your most vulnerable when you've just scored. It seems to be that way, and
it happened again yesterday.
Did it?
Happened again yesterday. 2 minutes. We scored 1-0 up, and within 2 minutes we'd conceded again 2 weeks ago in a row.
Here's Waters on the left foot, clipping it in towards Danning, who's coming in unmarked. And Kofi Danning perhaps should have done better.
Probably didn't need to go for it. He could have brought it down nearly. I don't think he realised the time and space he had at that back stick.
But it floated into that space again, and there's opportunities arising now at the moment. Plenty of openings for FC.
There's going to be plenty of openings both ways. And again, you're watching that fluid movement from the fronts. The front third for both sides. So Jeremy Ibarra, again, you watch regularly drifts into a central role, same as Thomas James for Canberra FC. And it's difficult to mark when they've got that.
Waters wins a header. Milicevic challenges. Graham bundles over Colicello. who we've hardly mentioned so far, Dom Colacello.
It's been bypassing him in a whole heap.
Vijafanye went to go early. He's going to get a second chance there. Bruno Kell signals a rolling ball. So early stages, Mitch, still, but promises to be a high-scoring game.
I think so. Like I said, there's at this stage, both sides seem far better in the attacking third than the defensive third.
It's a short free kick from Vijafanye, but it was read by Gerbischer, who found Graham. Now Milicevic to this near side, and a bit of chance for Waters to spray one forward, and
Wonderful.
Danning was almost in there. Acknowledges the ball through. It was a cracking pass, wasn't it?
It's beautiful. Again, that sort of pace, and if he makes that run across the line, again, you've got to be very, very good to keep up and get that right.
Spaseski sends it long, looking for Kalfas. He was looking for a free kick. Wasn't going to get it for that.
He's such a gifted footballer, Nikos Kalfas, but I still don't think we've seen him in this league him show his maximum potential.
Yeah, it's fair to say in the matches we've seen, he's probably not hit his best form. He offers a lot more.
And again, for someone with that technique and ability, he doesn't score enough goals. You'd love to see him offering more.
Often when you say things like that in commentary, Mitch, I notice this is your first one, they'll probably come and score straight away. They call it the curse of the commentator.
I did mention Subasic was the target for that free kick.
There you go. It often happens when you say that you can't see them scoring, and 10 seconds later it's in the back of the net.
In the back of the net.
Going to restart with the goal kick, which Cole will take. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that goal, with his defence more than anything, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
James collects it, but Daramy takes it off his foot, and off he goes, looking for the run of Kalfas, who's only about 3 metres offside. No need to call that one up.
The assistant referee didn't even bother, I don't think.
No, no need to.
Everyone knew.
So just over 15 minutes in, Mitch. Who's the happier of the two coaches right now?
I would lean to probably Paul Makor at the moment. Would be happy with where things are at. Tigers scored with their one opportunity. I think he'd be happy with the space in the midfield and the areas that like I said, those danger players for him are getting into.
Vijafanye finds Colacello. He in turn finds Ibarra. Good press by Canberra FC though, and a good ball forwards. Gerbischer wins it. Waters eases Ibarra out the way. Looks for Milicevic. Had a bit more time than he thought. Tried to force the pass. Good contest though.
It is tempting when you're, I suppose, in that midfield and you've got that pace up front to be looking for that ball in behind every time.
Daramy gets the free kick for a foul by James. And Fofana will take it. In front of one of the grandstands over on the far side. Nice little venue this at Deakin Stadium.
I think it's the premium venue in Canberra. Beautiful pitch. Great spot to watch football.
Especially on a day like today. Not a cloud in the sky here in Canberra. Which means in about 2 hours we'll be freezing. Without a shadow of a doubt. Milicevic spraying it forward, looking for the run of Danning, but that's ambitious.
Again, like I said, that temptation to quickly get that ball in behind. They need to ensure that there is variety in that game.
Fofana tries to do the same thing at the other end and overhits it. Shot on target, he'll claim. Does that go down as a save? Jordan Thurtell is going to have to send it long as well. Looking for James, but it's going to come to Waters. Beaten in the air. Keita was involved as well. It's a Canberra FC throw. Matt Gerbischer not happy with the linesman who pointed in the other direction. He asked him where he was going. Got an apology though. Here's James in the area looking for the flick. It's going to fall for Tarazi, who's been relatively quiet early on. Finds it out wide to Verkic. Good ball into the penalty area. Challenging in there. There's Subasic. Waters finds it on. He's Danning into the area. Chance here for Kofi Danning. Slides it past the keeper. And Thomas James applies the finishing touch. And Canberra FC have come from behind and a 2-1 up.
Quick little break, that pace in there, and you saw at first it looked like it should have been Jacob Cole's ball, but Kofi Danning, again, over that short distance, is so quick. Little cut back, and it's a nice little goal.
5th of the season for Thomas James, and they don't come much easier. Kofi Danning off the ball from Waters, slip it past Jacob Cole, and James had the easiest of tasks to put his team in front. Once again, perhaps, was the defence a bit square?
I think so. Like I said, we're talking 20 minutes in, and there's still question marks about that back four.
Well, now it's Tigers' turn to respond. Fafana finds Daramy. His ball forward is picked off by Subasic, who was heavily involved again, winning the header to lead towards that goal.
He's a real regular now in this side, and he's playing some good football.
Well, he's big and strong, and he's an aerial threat. Defensively, he's settling into the game, and having Matt Gerbisher alongside him obviously helps.
It's a great partnership. He's going to learn an awful lot off Matty.
So Canberra FC leading 2-1 at this stage, top of the table. Need one of those little as it stands graphics. Here's Tarazi.
It's great to see him playing regularly again as well.
Been beset by injury, isn't he? Been very unlucky.
Very unlucky.
Very talented footballer. Hoping that he can get back this season and make a real name for himself. Here's Ola Rigby. Looking to slide the ball wide. Not enough on it, and James showing his defensive work there.
Yeah, it's great to see that discipline, getting back and helping the team.
Maybe he lacked that a little bit when he first came to Canberra.
I agree, and I think that was probably the one thing you'd say is that did he give enough to the team in all phases of the game? But showing that there says, well, be aware.
Maybe it's come with a little bit of maturity.
I think so.
Here's Kalfas, right in front of us in the commentary position, looking to squeeze past Waters. It's a throw into Canberra FC. It's Marko Verkic. Came through the ranks here, the young fullback. Thurtell, who I understand is speaking to Sam Brown, who's on the bench today. They rotate the goalkeepers here at Canberra FC.
Two great goalkeepers. Very fortunate.
Yeah, real bag of riches there, especially when some clubs around town are struggling to field some goalkeepers. Here's James, who scored the second goal, dancing his way through and still going, Thomas James. Good run, this. Pulls it back for Danning. Showed a little bit too much of it to Daramy, who won the ball, and Fafana brings it away.
You look at the way Canberra FC defend. They get really narrow, get across, condense, win the ball back quickly. That's a poor ball.
Well, early on, Tigers were knocking the ball around quite well. At the moment, they've resorted to a few longer balls. Here's Colicello looking to chip it in behind, and Jerry Ibarra's going to get there, but his touch is heavy, but he may get there ahead of the keeper. He does. What can he do? He's facing away from goal, though, and he's surrounded by red shirts. And good defending in the end. Milicevic finds Graham. Ian Graham, in midweek, said he's the fittest he's ever been in an interview I saw. Does look very fit out there at the moment, doesn't he?
He's reaching that age now where you understand what you need to do to get the body right. You know what your pre-season's required for that role in midfield, and it's a wonderful free kick.
Beautifully spread to this near side for Waters. He's one-on-one with Keita, looking to take him on, and the defender's done well again, and very strong piece of defending from Michael Keita. Interesting that they play him there, Keita, isn't it? I mean, he offers a lot in several areas of the field.
Absolutely, and this is the one criticism of this Tigers FC lineup is that they don't quite have defenders, natural defenders in those roles, and you've got to put these guys back there where he's a wonderful footballer, can do a lot of damage further forward.
He's doing well defensively anyway. Good win by Verkic and headed on by Gerbisher. Milicevic challenges with Colicello. It falls for Gerbisher. He's forced to go all the way back to Thurtell. And Alex Ola-Rigby is done.
He does look done.
Yeah,
he's injured.
He's not happy. It's called up lame, and down he goes.
Shields will be warming up, I'd imagine.
We'll come back to that in a second as Danning challenges, and that's going to be not good news for Gabby Wilk. Maybe there's a hamstring problem there, and Cole kicks it out. He just seemed to pull up as the ball was sent through. And you can see straight away he signalled for a substitution and then went down in agony after he was angry, I think, with himself. He's another one that's had a heap of injuries over the last couple of years.
Yeah, we want to see our best players in the competition playing, so it's a shame.
Natural goal scorer, over 100 goals in Canberra Premier League football, Alex Olarugby. Not going to be adding to that tally today, unfortunately for him and everybody of a Tigers persuasion. He's limping off here. Yeah, he's a bit distraught, isn't he? It feels like, I guess when you've done a lot of hard work to come back from injury, to go down again 5 or 6 games into the season. It
can be incredibly frustrating, because you know what, anyone who's played the game will tell you, the rehabilitation required to get back, it takes time.
They do have a natural replacement in Mark Shields, who we're going to see. Perhaps not as quick as Alex Olarugby, Mark Shields, but still a goal scorer, holds the ball up well and good feet.
It'll be interesting to see how the combination works, because what works with Alex and Nikos is that Alex makes those runs behind and Nikos is happy to come short. So there's a natural someone getting that long and short option with that combination, whereas Mark and Nikos are similar. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust.
Well, it all started so brightly for Tigers FC, leading through Villafañe's goal after 11 minutes, and they were looking good. But since then, they've conceded twice, lost one of their main strikers. Period of regrouping in offering. Shields is in there for his first touch, and it's a nice one too. Finds it, Ibarra. Runners ahead of him, went for the ambitious effort. Bounced off the heels, and here's Villafañe. Milicevic covering him. Spreads it wide to Madafari. 2 Canberra FC shirts around him straight away. They're getting onto the wingers very quickly, Mitch.
Yeah, young Madafari's got plenty to give. He just needs that consistency at this level that needs to come into his game. It's a poor clearance. Straight
to Villafañe. Probably the one person you don't want to give it to. Colicello. Nice turn. Wonderful. Lefty and Graham on the floor. Still going Dom Colicello, then strikes one from a distance out, and that's should be easy for Thurtell.
That's that composure someone like Dom Colicello can bring to a midfield. Not rush, make a turn.
Responded quite well to going 2-1 down. Nice win by Daramy. Danning's first to react though. Fafana goes with him and wins the ball and concedes a throw.
Waters and James appear to have swapped flanks. Again, making it difficult when you sit up and try and make matchups with your fullbacks to the wide men.
I've seen this a lot this season. Whether a lot of coaches are doing it, I think you did it in one of the games I was watching, maybe against Tigers, switching the flanks up. Give us something else to think about.
It just changes that matchup, and it means that, particularly so Thomas James now being naturally right-footed can come in and shoot rather than looking to go wide and cross. And sometimes you just want to see what the dynamic is against the fullback.
Chipped into the danger zone. Cole comes to get it. And to be fair, Waters wasn't getting much change out of Keita, was he?
No, not at all. I think, like I said, Michael's done quite well to that point. So this is a different challenge, to be fair, though. Like I said, as TJ as he's known, he's a very good footballer.
Villafañe find Ibarra. Kalfas can't hold it up. And here is Thomas James. Scorer of the second goal.
There we go. Onto that right foot.
All right-footed.
Wonderful.
It's a good one too as well. He's found the runner's Waters. He tries to lift it over the top. Will Sarazi get on the end of that? Nope, it's just going to run away from him. He's got this burst of pace, hasn't he, Thomas James, which takes him away from defenders.
It's that change of pace from zero to something very, very quickly. And again, as a defender, it's so hard.
Shields, shielding the ball. And then treads on it, unfortunately. Milicevic didn't give him a moment's rest. The throw him right in front of us here, which Marko Verkic will take. Bruno Kell is having a chat with Villafañe, probably having too much to say to the referee.
It appeared that way.
Tarazi can't get hold of that one. It's a free kick, a throw-in rather. Spaseski. Back to Cole. Feel a bit sorry for Jacob Cole. He hasn't had a save to make, and he's picked the ball out of his net twice. Good challenge on that far side. Daramy wins it. Oh, lovely piece of turn as well, but it had been read by Waters, and he's happy to get involved as well.
Plenty of industry in this Canberra FC team, and that's what's going to make them genuine contenders for the trophies this season. Is that
well, Shields ball forward. Sorry, Mitch.
I'm just saying that there's plenty of X factor up top, but like I said, there's a work rate to the whole team, and I think the likes of Ian Graham and Waters balance this side well.
Keita. Bit of space for Vijafanye. Gets it onto that left foot and clips the ball out wide. And perhaps a chance for Jeremy to advance forward. Gets it back for Madafari. Tigers happy to go back to go forward. Spaseski. He goes longer again. It's a good ball too, over the top and brought down by Madafari on the edge of the area. Tries a shot on the turn, and that's not a bad effort. Didn't quite get enough on it.
Well, you prefer to set himself and be facing forward rather than turning and hitting that kind of shot.
Thurtell sends it forward, looking for Danning. 15 minutes to go, live on Bar TV Sports in the first half here at Deakin Stadium. Tigers FC trailing by 2-1 to the hosts, Canberra FC, for whom Thomas James on the ball scored the second goal, and he's brought down from behind, and he'll be lucky to get away with no card there, and Dom Colacello is the first player in the book.
And rightly so. Thomas James seems to be in some pain here.
I think it's the way he landed more than anything. It's 8 or 9 metres outside the air, probably a shooting chance. James will fancy his chances from here.
I think he fancies himself anywhere in the opposition's half, to be fair.
And sometimes from in his own half.
And sometimes in his own half.
Well, James did score the second one. He's lining up this one. Wouldn't be surprised to see him have a pop. Bruno Cal clearly saying wait for the whistle. Getting the Tigers' wall back the maximum distance.
We've seen him score these before.
Cole needs to be on his toes. It's a fair distance still. James to take. He does go for goal. It dips and swerves, hits the post, it's loose, and the rebound's off the crossbar from Waters. Amazing moments. James's free kick was outstanding. Came back off the post, and Waters straight back off the crossbar.
I was at a match only maybe 2 years ago at McKellar, and he scored a similar free kick from that range. So it's not surprising that he's capable of that, that's for sure.
Cole was stranded not once but twice. Could do nothing about either of those, could he?
Absolutely not. You'll be pleased to see him hit the woodwork and come back out again.
If he was Cat, he'd be ticking off a couple of his lives right there. Here's a set piece. It comes in, and the challenge from Gerbischer, and it's away for another corner.
The officials are a little unsure then.
Well, Paul Makel must be wondering how his team's not 3-1 up. If not from the free kick, but from the rebound as well. It came back at Waters quickly. And it was quite high. He did well to get a foot on it. James from this corner, from the set piece on this near side, swings it in. It's well won at the front post, and it's going to come out to Kalfas. And now here's a chance on the break for Vijafanye. Shields is bursting a gut to get forward, but the Argentinians overcooked that one. And defensively, Milicevic helps it out. Ibarra. Colacello. Back to Ibarra. Shields. Nicely played. Colacello, and the flag goes up for the return. Better from Tigers.
Better combination play, definitely. Linking up that front man. If he's going to be back to goal, then there's got to be supporting runs.
Don't think Thomas James can quite believe that he didn't score that free kick. Hands on hips in front of us in the stand here, and
he'll take confidence from that.
Great strike.
Yeah.
It's a great strike. It's a bit of banter from the fans to our right to Jerry Ibarra in the middle of the park. About his hair. He's dealt quite a bit of it there. He has dealt with it, hasn't he? Just asked for a hairbrush if he couldn't pick that up. Here he is under the ball. Keita took over there.
Beautiful little touch.
Looks for the runner, Kalfas, who's peeled in behind here, and he's got goal side of Subasic. He's on his own. The Greek striker looks to take on Subasic, does him brilliantly. There's a pullback on the shirt there as well. He did well to stay on his feet. Danny Sabasic's living dangerously. Daramy swings it into the area. Thurtell should have this and does. But there was definitely a pullback there, wasn't there? And he didn't go down.
Just a little one. And again, Nico goes down there, and there's going to be a question for Bruno just to consider.
The thing is, people, they talk about going down on players diving, but when you see things like that and you think, well, he's not even contemplating to give a penalty if you don't go down.
And that's the hard part. You know, what do you want from your guys? You want them to be honest. You want them to stay on their feet, but at the same time, you know then you're going to miss out on opportunities for free kicks and or penalties.
Yeah, I think it was a tug. I think it was Sebastian, or maybe it was James who was back there as well, involved. Either way, no doing. Canberra FC lead 2-1. We've got 10 minutes left of the first half. It's been an entertaining half as well. We'll try and get a score over from Riverside at half-time for you as well. Danning goes back. Operating from deep. And there's good pressure from Jerry Ibarra. Now he's sorted his hair out. It's good to see that he put the banter straight back, didn't he?
Exactly right.
That's what you like to see.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be malicious. It can go on with it.
There's Vichafanier. Shields. Looking to force the ball through and battling with Danning. Has lost out here to Brunskill, and here come Canberra FC. Looking for Taurasi to get on the end of it.
You'd love to see Michael Kidder just open up a little bit there, and Jacob Cole can roll him and you keep that ball.
Brunskill volleyed that out of play. They lead 2-1 Canberra FC, but what do you think they need to do better, Mitch? Do they need to get Taurasi into the game a bit more?
Perhaps, like I said, I just think that rather than assuming that ball over the top and in behind is the first option, a little bit of variety. So one of those guys coming short, getting runners around him, and maybe isolating the second striker to make that run.
Cole looks to send this long way forward, and Kaufas will change. Verkic does well defensively. Kaufas finds Keita. When you look for a long ball into the area, instead he goes short to Ibarra. Infield to Colicello. Nicely worked from Kaufas to Ibarra and just loses control of it. Now here is Taurasi, under pressure from Keita, does well and almost found James. You've seen Michael Taurasi play when he's full of confidence, and he is a handful when he's got his confidence up, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I remember playing against him years ago, and he's kind of that high foot.
Is he lacking in confidence, do you think, Mitch? The body language? What's it telling you?
Yeah, maybe. But again, we're talking about a footballer who's spent a lot of time on the sidelines. Naturally, just playing games back-to-back, that will come, though, because, again, when he gets fit and firing, he's a wonderful player.
Yeah, we're expecting him to be able to do that again. Now, Vichafanier is taking this free kick. He's going to swing it in with his left foot and try and cause some problems in the penalty area. Gaggle of bodies on that far-hand side as Vichafanier swings it. It's dipping and swerving, and Fertel's back there and has it cross the line.
Goal.
It has. It's a goal. The linesman's coming away. It's given, and Nicolas Vichafanier has scored from the most unlikely position. A huge error by Jordan Thurtell, and the Tigers are level.
It's a strange goal, that one. I assume the Suns played a part there as well, looking at it here, because it didn't seem overly threatening at first.
Well, it was dipping and swerving, wasn't it? I don't know whether he went for goal or whether he was looking for a player in the penalty area. But the assistant on this side, Ira Dudley, was convinced it across the goal line. No goal line technology, of course, here. Doesn't need it.
And no VAR to report back on.
Yeah, no need for the VAR. 2-2. 6 minutes to half-time. And a route back into the game, which perhaps we couldn't see coming.
A little bit fortunate, but you take that.
Verkic. And his ball is intercepted. Now here's Kaufas. Looking to find Madafari. Sebastic got the foot in. And he'll bring it forward. Helped on its way by Brunskill, but they've turned over possession again, and Tigers looking to attack. Waters is challenged by Ibarra. When he's left his foot, you can see it was causing the tail problem. Is that a positional problem for the goalkeeper in the first place?
It's an assumption that that ball's coming in and he's going to take a cross, as opposed to something that he's going to have to deal with directly as a threat on goal. And I think his first movement was to come and collect, and then he realised that he's actually going straight for the goal.
A disastrous moment for the young goalkeeper. I'm sure he'll recover from that.
He's been quite safe otherwise, and so that will be disappointing.
Well, it's been everything we thought it would be so far. 4 goals. Predicted at the top that there'll be a few, and I don't think the scoring's done.
Absolutely not.
Spaseski.
Another injury here.
Yeah, Barra's down in the middle of the field. Keita's playing on for the time being, looking to take on Verkic, and it's come off of the. Has it come off of Keita? Well, Gerbish is convinced. Barra's back on it. Barra's still down there. There's a bit of an argument here with. And they're coming on. We're not going to be able to carry on there, I don't think. Well, Bruno Cal is telling Gerbish to calm down. And Jerry Ibarra needs some treatment. Looking at the bench.
Zakowski, perhaps?
They've got, Nick Zakowski, Michael Gurney, or Jared Tanini. Now, Gurney and Tanini I've seen in defensive roles this year. There's a possibility.
Also played in centre-back when we had a fixture against him. But, again, I think he's a more natural midfielder. Or do we, you replace...
You could push Keita into that role,
That role, exactly.
Yeah, one of the defenders. Maybe Keita could drop into there. I mean, midfield's not alien to Osman Fofana either.
No, absolutely not.
But it looks like Ibarra's done as well. Maybe his groin there, the way he's walking off and clutching. Doesn't look good. That could be 2 down for them in the first half, and they've done so well to get back into it.
These are things you can't plan for. 2 substitutions inside the opening 45 minutes due to injury. It's hard.
Also, a game the other week with Melrose High School with Canberra Olympic, and Frank Keisha lost 3 in the first half.
Incredibly unfortunate. I can't see who that...
Yeah, the Sun playing havoc on that far side. I can't see who he's bringing on there. It's Jared Tanini. So maybe are going to see Tanini drop into this defensive role, or will he just go straight into midfield? I think I saw his sister last night in goal for Gungahlin, Kaylee Tanini.
Looks like a like-for-like swap at this stage.
Yep. Another player with a fair bit of talent. Well, that's 2 of the front 3 injured. As far as Nikos Kalfas, you'd be worried right now. Here he is challenging for the ball. James is there. Shields is with him. Thomas James does well to go back to his keeper. Thurtell doesn't seem overly concerned after he conceded that goal. Waters to Brunskill.
That's the response you want from your goalkeeper.
Good touch there from Danning, finds Graham. Now Tarazi on the spin in behind here. Michael Tarazi forced a little bit wide, and Spaseski's in there to tidy up for Kuma. I keep calling them Kuma. Are we allowed to anymore? I'm not sure.
Sure we are.
Tigers FC, formerly Kuma Tigers. They had a rebrand to take into account their partnership with Brindabella. Here's
Great
Graham.
things happening down there.
Graham on the edge of the box, and left-footed curler, always going wide. Yeah, Brindabella have done quite well down that club.
Yeah, it's great to see, and that facility now at the park, it's enclosed, lights coming in, and it's exciting times down south.
I think Jeremy Butler might be the head coach of their Capital League team down there now, former Tuggeranong United legend.
Absolutely.
Got no knees and no ankles anymore, but I still think he has a run around occasionally.
Loves the game.
A lot of those boys in the State League, isn't there? There's plenty that love their clubs and love their football and just want to keep playing.
Keep playing.
I think there's a guy that a couple of years ago was 70 plus playing in the Masters competition.
Oh, wow. For
Brindabella as well. That's dedication for you, isn't it? Can you see yourself going at 70, Mitch?
Right now, the fire is still there. Don't worry about that. But I don't know, at 70.
Maybe not running around on the football field at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Maybe up behind the glass there over at...
enjoying a nice stadium. Glass of red.
Yeah. I've heard about the wine here at Deakin.
It's pretty good. Not that I've had any. Occasional glass or 2. Marko Verkic here, not Marko Verkic who's playing, Marko Verkic, the former president of Canberra FC. A lot to do behind the scenes here. That's their sponsors lounge up there, and they're enjoying some chivapis and kranskis and what have you. On the fields, their team at 2-2, and a free kick chance for Waters to show Vijafanya that whatever he can do left-footed, he can do the same. He has got a good set piece, Matthew Waters. Saw plenty of that at Woden Valley.
60 seconds of regulation time, so Tigers will want to be strong here, ensure nothing happens.
Let's see what Waters can do. Swings it in towards the far post. It's coming towards Danning, who wins the header, but can't direct it goalwards. And Jacob Cole will no doubt take his time. What have you made of the first half, Mitch?
In many ways, it's been what we expected. Plenty of goals. Both teams seem stronger in the final third in terms of attacking than defensively. Matty and Subasic here will certainly say, you know, keep it tight. They've got goals in this side, and I still believe that original forecast that Canberra FC will get the win at the end of the day.
Tanini's first touch didn't quite get enough on the header. As time ticks down into stoppage time at the end of the first half, an entertaining first half. Is Thomas James one of the players who scored this afternoon? 2 goals apiece if you've just tuned in. John Thotel will send it long. Well, it might have a couple of minutes of injury time because we've lost Alex Olarugby, of course, and Jared Tanini. Tarazi was challenging, headed forward by Gerbischer. It's going to fall here for Waters on that left foot, and that's a terrific block by Osman Fofana.
Tackle.
Straight in there to block it, like those tackles. Reverberated around the ground, didn't it?
It did.
Thumping tackle from Fofana. Here's Verkic, one last chance perhaps to get the ball forward. Goes to Gerbischer. Verkic again. Looks for Danning. And Tanini helps it away. Graham's touch. Subasic forward. Now Waters. Looking to create a bit of opening on that side. Brunskill doesn't mind getting forward. Wins his side a throw.
Interesting to know how many appearances he has in the Premier League now. Aidan Brunskill.
There'll be a fair few now, I would have thought. It's going to be a free kick for Canberra FC, and we're still playing into stoppage time. Chance for them to chuck some red shirts into that penalty area.
Both centre-backs coming up as expected.
Yeah, when they do that, Tommy Milosevic just drops back to halfway. He's got a bit of pace about him as well, so not bad cover. Now then, James has taken over the free kick on this side, so being predominantly right-footed, this one's going to be a bit of an outswinger. Can he find Gerbischer or Subasic towards the far post, which is where we're expecting it to go? It's a bit flatter, this delivery, and challenging was Tarazi. It's bouncing around the penalty area, and Graham's in there, goes down to the challenge. Few half-hearted shouts for a penalty, and in the end, it's a goal kick. Never going to get that, were they?
No, definitely not.
Seems to be the thing there. Someone goes down in the box, just have a shout.
Have a shout.
Make the referee make a decision.
Yeah.
And Bruno Kell, who's refereed it quite well in the first half.
I think he's had a good game so far.
Looked at his watch a couple of times, checked with his linesman. And it is the officials who've had the biggest say so far. Dudley in front of us here is the one that gave the goal, perfectly placed to give the equalising goal.
And there was no real complaint, I don't think, from Canberra FC by the looks of it.
Let's throw their arms in the air and ask a question, even if you think it's gone 10 foot over the goal line and hit the back of the net. Waters.
It's 2.5 minutes stoppage time now.
Yeah, this will be for the injuries to Olarugby and Abara, you'd think. It can't be much more. Couple of minutes for the celebrations after the goals. Vijayfane certainly liked his, didn't he?
He did. He enjoyed it.
Yeah, enjoyed both his goals.
So you should.
Absolutely. You want to see a bit of celebration. In fact, the best celebrations I've seen this year have been from Woden Western, I think. They enjoy their goals.
They're such an exciting side to watch too, though. The enthusiasm, the way they're playing.
When they break, don't they?
Oh, they're quick. You have to be very, very careful.
Bruno Kell wants him to get on with this one. It's a chance for Tigers to load the penalty area. Vijayfane over the free kick, as he has been for most of the afternoon. Maybe the last chance of the half will be a Tigers chance. Vijayfane swings it in there, and it's easily dealt with by Gerbischer. He'll get a second opportunity under pressure from James, who wins the ball. Now then, it's 3-on-3. If he can send it forward, it's an early one towards Danning, and defensively Osman Fofana is there and will tidy up Daramy. Now Spaseski. Keita. Tanini, who's slotted in on this flank. Gerbischer gets there, and the last touch of the half is for Nikos Kalfas and Mitch. We go into the break all square.
possibly, like I said, Canberra a little hard done by, considering that free kick and then the crossbar that was hit after that. But it's been an interesting game.
Yeah, Nicholas Vijafanye gave the Tigers the lead, and Canberra FC then scored twice in minutes. Daniel Subasic equalised, and Thomas James put Canberra FC 2-1 ahead. Vijafanye equalised not before Canberra FC had hit the post and the crossbar in an incredible moment through James and Waters. We're expecting plenty more goals in the second half. Mitch and myself will be back after this. It's half-time at Deakin Stadium. It's Canberra FC 2, Tigers FC 2. Welcome back to Deakin Stadium for the second half of this men's NPL match in Capital Football. It's Canberra FC versus Tigers FC. I'm Russ Gibbs, your commentator for this one. Alongside me, as he was in the first half, is Mitch Stevens. And Mitch, we're expecting more of the same and plenty more goals.
I think so, and there's definitely one change being made. Jordan Lamb has come on, and it looks like Tarazi is off. So Kofi and Denning, and here we go.
So is that something that we mentioned, his body language in the first half? Maybe he wasn't fully fit.
Correct.
Well, Tigers in the yellow getting us underway. Their team lines up as follows. Cole, Daramy, Spaseski, Fofana, Keita. Midfield three of Madafari, Colicello and Vijafanye. The forward three, Tonini, Shields and Kalfas after they lost two players in the first half. So Canberra FC will be a reshuffle, you'd think. The telling goal, Verkic, Gerbischer, Subasic and Brunskill were the first half front four. Then James, Graham, Milicevic and probably Lamb in... Waters, Graham, Milicevic and Lamb in midfield. James will go up front alongside Kofi Danning. Thomas James, whose goal gave Canberra FC the lead. A couple of goals from Vijafanye for the Tigers. And we're expecting 45 minutes of end-to-end action. Shields wins a header. Tonini brings it under control. And it's clipped forward by Keita, and it's nice flick on here, and a chance here behind is Shields. In on goal right at the start of the second half, and that's a super tackle defensively by Matt Gerbischer to deny Mark Shields, who maybe just took a little bit too long.
That's a brilliant challenge, though. It's a brilliant challenge.
Could have saved his team, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Could have pulled trigger maybe slightly earlier, but again, we talk about those good strikers setting themselves before striking, and that's what he did, and it gave that moment for Matt to get back and make the challenge.
Well, the corner will be taken by Vijafanye, and he'll hopefully, for Tigers, swing that in there, into that area. It's a good-looking one towards the far post, and it's one in the air. It needed to be as well. Colicello. Back to Daramy. Slides it forward. Tigers have started the second half here well. Ball into the middle from Madafari. The clearance by Milicevic only finds Daramy. Keita. Now Vijafanye.
Real intent by Tigers FC from the start here.
Got in so easily, didn't they?
Absolutely.
Here's Vijafanye taunting down that wing, and James wins the tackle. He's done that very well today.
He's really shown that he stepped up to the plate today and does a little bit of everything.
Lamb's made the run forward, tried to find him, didn't quite get the connection correct. And the Tigers can look to go forward with Madafari. Daramy. Now Colicello. Bright start from Kuma. Fofana. Tonini. Skips past Verkic. But Gerbischer is there again. Brings so much to this team, Matt Gerbischer, defensively and in a leadership role as well.
Yeah, he's an outstanding player and like I said, an absolute leader.
Well, Lamb just come on as a substitute, Jordan Lamb, and that was asking a lot. Good job he'd warmed up at half-time, stretching for that one.
Well, traditionally plays right back, but like I said, went out on this flank. It's a similar role. And
he's got a good engine, gets up and down well.
Definitely.
Challenge there from Subasic.
It's lovely to be able to call
Daramy.
on someone like Jordan Lamb off the bench. And still looking over there, there's plenty of firepower Canberra FC have got up their sleeve if necessary.
Got Ryan Keir, Ivan Pavlak and Ross Costanzo on them. Keir and Pavlak have been mainstays of this team for many years. Now here's James looking to take on Spaseski, and he's done him on the inside. Here's Thomas James, that burst of pace that we've talked about. He tried to force the ball to Danning. And Tigers bringing away, and that is a thumping challenge.
It could be a straight red.
From Osman Fofana, and he could be in trouble here, and he is. It's a straight red card for Osman Fofana. He jumped in on the challenge. He got plenty of the ball, but you just can't do that, Mitch, can you?
That's unfortunate. That's a leg-breaking tackle, potentially. You've got to be so careful. And we really hope that Ian Graham's not hurt here.
It didn't look pretty. And there was no complaints from anyone in a yellow shirt at all.
Not at all.
As Fofana gets sent off.
Again,
and Ian Graham's
okay here.
He's getting up gingerly. But not a good challenge, and got what it deserved probably, Mitch.
I think so. And like you said, it's quite telling when, you know, there's little argument from that side that's on the receiving end of that red card.
He definitely got a little bit of the piece of the ball, didn't he? But Was a yellow card for Ian Graham there for some reason? Oh, no, for Matt Gerbischer, sorry.
Yeah, Gerbischer.
Probably for coming in and having a chat. But yeah, he may have got a little bit of the ball, but there was definitely enough intent for a red card.
And that really does hurt that Tigers FC side, because what's the rejig? I assume Jared Tanini's going to go back into right back with Kidder at centre back, would be my guess. But it does put an awful lot of pressure on this side now.
And only 4 minutes into the second half as well. It's not what the Tigers would have wanted. Can Canberra FC capitalise on their man advantage?
On top of that, now you've got the likelihood of one of your best defenders now sitting on the sidelines for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, you think at least.
At least.
I'm sure if we see it again, it wouldn't have been very pretty at all.
He's not a dirty player, but I think, like I said, he's got that one wrong, Aussie.
Yeah, like I said, I think there was no complaints, and that usually tells you the story. Now, this is a long way out for Thomas James, but from what we saw in the first half, it doesn't lack in the confidence to have a go from this range.
Considering they've sent the centre-halves forward, you would assume there has to be a delivery to those guys.
Yeah, he's going to chip it just over the top. There it is, looking for the header, and Cole came and missed it. Here's a chance for Gerbischer to swing it goalwards, and it's hooked off the goal, and unbelievably. A great piece of defending from Keita.
That was superb.
And down under the challenge. And a free kick for the Tigers. Kalfas was fouled, but what a great piece of defending from Keita. Gerbischer must have thought he had scored. He's
a wonderful athlete, and that agility he's just shown there, the technique, I mean, that's something special.
Incredible piece of defending. It was as good as a goal for his team as well, because that would have been 4-2, or 3-2 rather. Here's Lamb.
With 10 men, it becomes difficult. That gives them a chance just to try and set themselves again here. And see what they do.
Good ball over the top. Shields is there, looking to take on Subasic.
He's done the right thing, though. He's delayed, pushed into the corner, not given a foul.
Svija Fanier back to Daramy. Spaseski. Now Keita. So they've only got, they've playing with 3 at the back, it looks like. That one's forward to Kalfas. They need a bit more from him this half, I think. Here is Kalfas. Colacello, more by luck than design, I think. Lovely skill that time, though. Towards the far post, Matafari not tall enough to reach that one. Swings it into the area and just volleyed clear by Waters. And Keita sent it back. Now Visha Fanier, they've responded well to going down to 10. Here's Daramy. Matafari. Still going, Matafari. That's a good tackle by Subasic. Lamb runs straight into Visha Fanier. Here's trouble for FC. Exchange of passes with Kalfas. Still there, Visha Fanier looking to get it onto that left foot. Fires it goalwards, but it's always fading away from goal.
Great response, though, from Tigers FC, because some teams can go into their shell a little bit with a red card. And if anything, they've adjusted quite well.
They've always been known as an attacking side, and they're certainly not shirking their principles. Now they're down to 10. They've gone with 3 at the back. Tanini maybe a 4th as a win required.
Auxiliary sort of right back. And again, Shields and Kalfas seem to have stayed up top, so it's a hybrid sort of system. You see Tanini's being drawn back into that right back role, and that's going to happen a lot out there, I'd imagine.
Does well to win it, only finds James. Squares it off.
I think Canberra FC just have to be patient here, understanding that they've got an awful lot of time still up their sleeve against the 10 men on a big pitch. If they can work that ball around and tie this Tigers FC side, there's going to be opportunities. And this is an area, if Thomas James can face forward and go at pace here, this is dangerous.
Here is James into the penalty area, goes down, gets himself back up again. That's good defending from Tanini, who gets rid of it up towards halfway. A couple of scores from around the grounds. Full-time in the Women's Premier League, Monero Panthers 3, Tuggeranong United 1. A couple of latest scores in the Women's Premier League, Canberra FC 3, Canberra Olympic 0, and Canberra United Academy 3, Woden Western FC 1. And that's in the Women's Premier League. This Milicevic in the Men's Premier League. Skips past a couple of challenges, looks to find Danning in the channel. Keita's across with him, the flag goes up very late. One score at half-time over at the Riverside Stadium. Monero Panthers 0, Belconnen United 0.
Interesting.
So not a lot in terms of goals over there. We stole them all over here, Mitch.
It seems that way.
If it stays that way, I think Panthers will be very happy. It's been a funny old season for Belconnen, hasn't it? Only 3 points from 4 games heading into that game today. They'd expect to be further up the ladder than they are.
Yeah, traditional powerhouse, obviously, of the local game, Belconnen. And there's still a lot of quality over there, so it'll be interesting to see what changes are necessary to start getting the results they require.
Yeah, new coach in Peter Marzi, and he replaced Dean Ugrinnick, and congratulations to Dean Ugrinnick, who's been appointed Canberra United youth team coach for next season.
Yeah, it's a wonderful appointment.
Well respected in the football community in Canberra, Ugrinnick.
He certainly shows that he can be a good coach and a good person.
Lamb slides in, Danning chance here, James is square, Danning bearing down on goal, pulls it across for Thomas James, and he's not going to miss those, the English striker. Simple finish, the second time in the game that Danning's given him one on the plate. James slots home his 6th of the season, and Canberra FC are back in front.
Yeah, great, and you know what, it's a great composure from Danning there. He waited, TJ delayed the run, and that cut back, and you couldn't get it any simpler. But again, they make it look simple. There's still timing and the execution to get right.
Yeah, Thomas James finishes from close range. Brilliantly insightful and perceptive pass from Jordan Lamb to get Danning in the first place, and the experience of Kofi Danning in those areas. Played A-League, of course, so
absolutely
expect him to be able to pick a pass from there. And certainly did. Now it's an uphill struggle for the 10 men of Tigers. They responded well in the first half. Have they got something up their sleeves in the second? Here's Matafari looking for Colicello.
This is an awfully difficult one now for Tigers FC, because with 10 men and a goal, they have to push forward looking for something, but there's enough time on the clock that Canberra FC will probably fancy their chances of picking him off even just via a counter-attack.
When you look at the fact they've got Ivan Pavlak on the bench as well, one of the quickest men in Canberra football before his injury, I'm sure he's got plenty of gas still up the sleeve. Here's Tigers looking for a run here for Tonini into the area. Battling away is Shields, and he goes down in a crumpled heap as well. And then, so does Vijafanye. 2 of them rolling around on the floor, and I think Shields caught the brunt of one when he went for the challenge.
He looks uncomfortable too. Both boys are in distress.
And both hobbling to their feet. The free kick that was paid there was for the one for Vijafanye, who's a long way from goal. We saw what he did in the first half, though.
Absolutely. He doesn't have the luxury of the sun in the keeper's eyes this time.
Yeah,
but
not quite
again,
the angle.
He's got a wonderful left foot, so where does he clip this?
Well, what is it, 35 metres from goal or so? Maybe 30? He's certainly got the technique, and he's lining it up. Don't think he's going to pass this one.
I don't think so, but again, it's just watching. Kofi Denning's coming brought back now.
Well, here's Vijafanye lining it up. What a hat-trick, remember? Straight into the wall. That's what you get when you give him a build-up. Keita clips it into the penalty area, looking for Shields, who's recovered and shot on the turn and bobbles its way through to Thurtell. Not having much luck in their front 6 with injuries, are they?
Not at all.
Thurtell sends that one long.
What a touch.
Great touch from James. He's on a hat-trick as well, remember? Dancing into the penalty area, looking to repay the favour by finding Danning, but Keita was across there defensively. Now here's a run on the left-hand side by Waters, and Keita again. We talked about him in the first half as being valuable further forward, but he's certainly done a great job defensively. He's
an all-round player, and he can do a job anywhere on the pitch. But you know, again, you'd love to see that power that he brings, maybe higher at the pitch. But that may happen as Gabby rolls the dice if he's going to chase this game.
Sabasic under no pressure finds Milicevic, who looks for Danning, and Danning apologises. Wasn't ready for that one. Don't think he wanted it. Here's Kalfas.
Matafari's got a little bit of space. Liam tracks him well though.
Gerbischer flicks it forward. Now here's Danning. He's got goal side. Just briefly. Takes on Keita. Cuts in field. Kofi Danning. Looks for James. Lamb comes in on the far post. He's appealing there was a touch on it. We'll see if there was. The linesman agrees with him. or the assistant referee, I should say, these days. Not allowed to call them linesmen anymore, are you?
No.
Throw in to be taken right by the corner flag. James. Now Gerbischer. Good switch. Verkic helps it forward to Waters. Now Danning. No rush for Canberra FC, of course. They lead 3-2.
That's exactly what they need to do, though. Be patient. Tigers have to chase this game, not them.
James switched to this near side. Looks for the run of Lamb. Just eases that one over the top for the winger to chase. Good defending by Spaseski coming across. Aidan Brunskill jogging across to take the throw-in. James. Tight space here, but there's that burst of acceleration and swings the ball in for Danning, who tried something a little bit special on the near post with a flick. Didn't quite come off. Earns his team a corner, though.
If he does, it's a brilliant goal, if he gets it right.
That combination seems to be blossoming week on week, the Danning-James partnership.
What you want to see from a front pairing like that is when they're not being selfish, they're happy to supply or score.
James swings,
dangerous.
Well, swings to the far post. Danning is in there. Almost fell for him. Shot from Waters. He was always leaning backwards, and that was always going over the crossbar. Half an hour to go at Deakin Stadium, live on Bar TV Sports. Canberra FC lead 3-2.
He's injured here as well. Holding his groin, he looks in trouble.
Maybe that's why he didn't go for that ball earlier on and apologise. Maybe he's struggling a little bit. They've got Pavlak and Kier and Costanzo on the bench still. It's Colacello. Finds Tonini. Good touch infield. Advancing forward. No real support at the moment. He's got a runner outside him now. Ball in towards Shields, who slides in, and that's a good stop by Thurtell. Needed to get his hands on that one. Otherwise, Shields was making it 3-3.
It's a brilliant run from Tonini.
Fischer Fagné, just a little warning there for Canberra FC. They can't rest on their laurels. Kalfas. Now here's Tonini again. Bit of space, tries to take on Gerbischer, but he's poked that one out of play.
Plenty of intent from Tigers FC, and with a one-goal lead, Canberra FC cannot let up here.
Keep an eye on Kofi Danning, Mitch, see if he can run off that knock that he seems to have sustained. In the meantime, Thurtell, who got a good piece of that, needed to as well, pushed it outside the penalty area.
It was a great run and delivery. It was dangerous.
Yeah, Tonini for the first time really as an attacking force. It's towards Lamb. Daramy wins it. But Lamb should pick up the pieces. Matafari got in there and Brunskill read the ball. And then the upshot all of that is a throw into Canberra FC immediately in front of us. You could take this, Mitch.
I could take this.
Nip on and take it quickly. Probably wouldn't go very far.
I certainly don't have a long throw.
Sabasic steps away from two. Finds Milesevic. And that's a good switch as well. Bit of space for Thomas James to run at Tonini if he wants to. Overlap provided by Waters, who's there. Chance to pull it backwards, and Keita did enough. And Colacello, calm as you like.
Not sure about that pass, though.
Yeah, got himself out of trouble, only to put himself straight back into it with the distribution. James. How hungry he'll be for a third goal. Brunskill. Milicevic. Switch from Sabasic again. Lovely, lovely change of direction.
Nice football.
James. Acres of space for him to work in, which you'd expect. Slides that in for Danning, who's got away here. Flag stays down. Kofi Danning in a dangerous position. Can he pull it back? A real chance for Graham, and that's a great block from Daramy to deny FC a fourth.
Yeah, Danning's getting into all sorts of positions back there, and he's picking the right pass too. It could have been another assist just then.
Good block from Osman Daramy, though. Keeps his side in the game. Spaseski. Daramy to halfway. Shields. Challenges in there from Sabasic. Interesting how he comes out, defends Daniel Sabasic to get involved in those challenges, and someone always drops in for him.
No, like I said, this is Canberra FC's side that is collectively working together, and the same can't be said for Canberra FC over the last couple of seasons. So
Danning will chase that one, and Spaseski will try and use his strength to hold it up. Well, Terrier snapping at his heels there, Danning, and he's done enough to get the ball back towards Brunskill. Keita. Well, second touch was heavy, and he got away with that one. Now here's a chance. Gerbish's header only finds Shields, Vijafanya rather, who skips away from the challenge, wants a free kick, and gets it. Well, he's not happy for some reason there.
There's no contact. He got the free kick. I think Bruno's got that right.
Was he thinking he wanted a card?
Would have been a harsh yellow card, I think.
Doesn't mind a chat, does he, Vijafanya?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if he's practicing his English or... But he seems like a nice guy, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And a good footballer as well. Scored
Definitely.
a couple of nice goals today. Likes the Bar TV cameras. That's his 4 goals have all come in front of our commentary positions. And he goes from distance, and it's not a bad effort. Well, and that had Thurtell scrambling. That was a long way out as well.
Keeper dives like that's close.
Well, that one might have gone viral. We need to fire him up a bit more if he's going to come up with things like that. Nicolas Vijafanya. Been around a bit, played a few games abroad in Greece and Italy as well. I think it's Greece from where they picked him up from. Started his career at Boca Juniors.
Yeah, as a youth player, I believe.
Yeah, and I think he had a game in their first grade side, someone was saying to me at one stage. So he's obviously got some ability.
That's a big deal. That's a huge football club.
Clearly a good footballer. And bringing a fair bit to Tigers. Can he bring his side an equaliser? That's the important thing right now for them. Cross goes Kalfas to take the throw-in. They want a little bit more from Kalfas, I think, wouldn't they? They'd like to see a bit more from him when he's get him on the ball a bit more in attacking zones.
I always get that feeling with him, though. There's no doubt he's a talented player, but you want to see more influence.
Turnover here, and here's a chance for Danning, and James is making the run into the penalty area. Here comes Thomas James. The first touch is decent. Can he set up a chance? Finds Danning. Shoots from distance, but straight down the throat of Jacob Cole.
If he drops that ball to the back post, Jordan Lamb had arrived late and unmarked.
Shields tries to help that forward, and Gerbish is there, as he so often is. Goes down under the challenge and wins his side a free kick. He'd be up there with the best centre-backs in Canberra, wouldn't he, Matt Gerbisher?
Easily.
He's physical, he's pretty fast, and he reads the game so well. And comes up with the odd goal or two.
He can play, he's a threat both ends, aerially. But like I said, there's that leadership quality. He's worth more than just what he offers in terms of what he does.
Waters, a bit of space on the left-hand side, cuts into field, still going Waters. Runs himself into a bit of trouble, but gets out of it. Finds Danning, pocket of space on the edge of the box for Danning. Back to James, who's distant. Finds Milicevic. Now Brunskill. Under pressure from Madafari, who does well to stand him up. Now, is there a break on for Tigers? Not many going forward with Tony Madafari, so he goes on his own. And is eased off the ball by Brunskill, who was tracking back.
Holding his shoulder. It could be another injury for Tigers FC.
Yeah, the landing wasn't great, was it? And he stayed down. And he does look in a fair bit of pain there.
Could be a collarbone or something like that. It does seem unusual the way he's holding it.
Yeah, it was where he landed, wasn't it? It was just eased off it by Brunskill. I don't think there was anything malicious in there, what Aidan Brunskill did. But the landing isn't good.
He's a tough little player, so I don't think this is anything put on, that's for sure.
He stayed down. He's not removed either, which is always a worrying sign. He's obviously got the concern of his players. Dom Culicello's there, and I don't think we're going to see much more of Tony Madafari this afternoon.
I don't think so. On the flip side, I haven't seen any Canberra FC substitutes warming up either. Oh, until now, look, is he coming?
We're going to see a change right there, as you said that, I think. So Ryan Keir is going to come on. I'm not sure who for. Is it Tom Milicevic? Yeah, he's walking off very slowly. He was just the closest player, was he? I think Tommy Milicevic was unlucky there. I don't think he was going to be the one substituted.
I didn't see it coming.
Nah. That's why he didn't see him warming up. He was ready to come on.
He was ready.
Now, Teddy Metafore's got up, but look at the way he's walking off, holding his shoulder there. This isn't good for him. It's going to be a third and final change for Tigers.
Coming on.
Yet another injury, though, for Gabby Wilk.
That's terribly unlucky.
To Nick Sikorsky, will this mean another reshuffle, Mitch?
Yeah, I mean, your best laid plans are gone when we're talking about all 3 substitutions because of injury. No tactical opportunity here to change things, and he's been forced into another one here, so...
We've still got 20 minutes to play. Well, Sikorsky's bringing the instructions onto the field. Hope Teni Madafari isn't too bad, and they can fix that. He doesn't miss too much football. It does look like it may be a dislocation or something along those lines.
Something like that. He's landed awkwardly on the shoulder.
Well, fingers crossed for Tony Madafari. And Waters will send that one back, giving the ball back to Tigers in customary fashion, 60 metres from where they had it. That's the way it does it these days, isn't it, Mitch?
Sikorsky appears to come on again, a straight swap on this left-hand side of their midfield. But again, at some point, they're going to have to roll that dice and make a move for this game.
Waters clips it through. Danning's there, and the flag's going to go up. Frustrates people, that, doesn't it? Because you know he's offside. You know it's going to happen, but they won't put it up.
It boggles my mind that that's the way we have to do it.
Yeah, just put the flag up and let us get on with it. Because if they carry on there and they collide, and there's another injury. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a second. Here's a chance for Tigers, and they're going to get a free kick. Yeah, what I was saying there, Mitch, is if Danning and Cole come out full-blooded there and they collide and someone gets injured, for the fact that we could have pulled that up a couple of seconds earlier. Yeah, we're not talking about a split second, we're talking seconds at a time. Or sometimes the ball's played over the top and it's a 40-metre run until something happens, then the flag goes up. I just don't understand it. It's just frustrating. If it's offside, just put the flag up. So I rant over for the day.
Certainly not having a pop at the assistant referee.
He's doing exactly what he's told to do. It's the lawmakers, really, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, he's done exactly what he's supposed to do, and he's done it well. And he's had a good game today, this linesman on this near side, the assistant referee.
Yep.
Ira Dudley got his moment spot on when Vijafane's free kick was adjudged to have gone over the goal line. Although those of a red persuasion may think otherwise. Shields. Now here we go again, same scenario. Off goes Kalfas, gets pulled up.
Nice little touch and ball though from Shields.
Yeah, less than 20 minutes to go now, live on Bar TV Sports at Deakin Stadium. Men's NPL football, Canberra FC 3, Tigers FC 2. Entertaining football match. We've had a red card as well. Osman Fofana sent off for Tigers FC for what was a nasty looking challenge on Ian Graham. Here's James looking to run at Tanini. Comes in field. Keir lines one up from distance and he caught hold of it nicely, but just the direction lacking from Ryan Keir.
It's important that he gets minutes under the belt as well.
He was a dynamic footballer a few years ago, Ryan Keir.
Yeah, spent some time at Sydney Olympic.
Here's James. Switches to Keir. Subasic, who's been very good today, Daniel Subasic.
He's had a very good game.
As has Verkic. James' turn.
It's a wonderful ball by Verkic.
He's picked out Brunskill on this near side, and he's helped it on his way to land, but Daramy's come across and saw that one. Unfortunately for him, he can't keep it in play. Brunskill goes early to Keir. Subasic. Switch of play to James, and he brings it under control beautifully. Now he'll take on Tanini. Swings it into the penalty area. Good ball too. Unfortunately, no one in a red shirt on the end of that one, but he just killed that ball so well.
Like I said, he's probably the best player in the competition, and when he's playing like this, you can see why.
It's a big call, Mitch. You're calling that he is the best player in the competition?
I think so. I really do.
For what he offers at both ends of the park, really. I've seen a lot of him defensively today, which you don't normally see.
Well, there seems to be a maturity to his game and then a desire to, say, influence it, not just in attack, but what the team needs. And like I said, if you've got a Thomas James doing that, then, like I said, all teams in this competition have to look out.
And he scores a variety of goals as well, doesn't he? He's got 2 tap-ins today, which he needs to be there to do as a centre-forward, but he does score from distance as well. He offers a threat whenever he gets the ball from a variety of positions as well. Here's Waters, looking for Danning, who's had a decent match this afternoon. Now then, chance for Zakowski. We find a ball, picks a short one to Colicello. Comes back to Zakowski. Bit of space for him to work. Vijafanye looking for the runner Kalfas. Sabasic has read it and he's gone back to clear in a fashion. He's hooked that one out for a throw-in right down by the corner flag. Glad you got your coat now, Mitch.
Absolutely. Shade's coming over. It's cool.
It's getting cooler. We're talking about showing some FFA Cup games on Bar TV Sports in the middle of the winter. 7 o'clock at night time. That's going to be nice. We wrapped up one for that one. Here's Daramy. Zakowski. It's already gone out of play for a throw. So Mitch, with 15 minutes or so to go, what do you do if you're Gabby Wilk right now? Down to 10 men. Do you roll the dice and go, or is it too early?
Yeah, and it is. There's no right or wrong answer there. I think you've got to have a look and say, you know, he'll know what the players' fitness levels are. Have they got an extra push here to press on and make something happen? Or do you, again, just wind the clock down? It's only one goal. So what's right here is it's a difficult one.
Ball's poked forward by Verkic. The midfield battle. There's Graham, who was on the end of that chance for Fofana. Now he's found James, and all of a sudden Canberra FC are in behind again, taking on Keita. James left and right and tried to put it across the penalty, but Keita did superbly well again. James has it on the edge of the box. Tried the little back heel to Free Waters, and he's got him in here. Real chance here for FC. Danning will score, and that could well be the points. Kofi Danning, who's set up 2 in much the same style for Thomas James, has got one of his own. That's a goal his performance deserves, and Canberra FC are 2 goals to the good.
Yeah, you would think with against 10 men now, that 2-goal lead with 15 to go, that should be enough. But again, wonderful little build-up there, the back heel from Thomas James. Great overlapping run and neat little finish.
You feel a bit sorry for Michael Keita there, who was dragged a little bit out of position after defending so well, and you can see the body language of the Tigers players now. Their heads are down, hands on the hips. You may hear that in the background. There you go. Did you hear that one, Mitch? Latest score. Monero nil, Belconnen 1.
Okay, there you go.
So a goal for Belconnen over at the Riverside. Big goal for them, and a big goal here for Kofi Danning, sliding the ball home. That's his 2nd league goal of the season. Won't be the last if he continues to play like that.
Oh, absolutely not.
And Canberra FC are right now are looking good to go top of the table at the end of the day's play, and remain the only team in the league with an unbeaten record. 4 from 4 they will be.
Deservedly so. It's been a good performance from them today.
Yeah, after their bizarre start to the season, where the first match of the season against Olympic was postponed, and then they had a bye in round 2, and everybody else had racked up the points.
Yeah, we're all sort of asking that question of, does that delay hinder them, or was it, again, more time to prepare accordingly?
Well, have they got some more goals for the end? That's a beautiful back heel from James, looking for Danning. Flag stays down. Party tricks coming out here for Canberra FC. James finds Sabasic. Now here's Brunskill. They're dragging the Tigers wide here. Brunskill ball into the penalty area. James is unmarked on the far post. Here's Thomas James. There's the hat-trick. It was almost inevitable. As soon as it fell to him, he's took aim and he's rifled it beyond Jacob Cole, and Canberra FC have 5.
It's a decent finish too. And again, we talk about the composure required in those moments. Leant back, got down, and puts it in the back of the net. Wonderful finish.
When it fell to him, you never thought there was going to be any other outcome, did you?
Not at all.
As soon as he set it down, even though it was a difficult one, you knew his touch would be good, you knew his shot would be excellent, the contact would be good, and Jacob Cole was left it very exposed. It's 3 for Thomas James, it's 5 for Canberra FC. They are on fire at the moment.
I do feel sorry for Gabby and Tigers here, because I think that's a little bit flattering for Canberra to see the 5-2, but because they've made a decent account since going to 10.
And Canberra FC have certainly made them pay going to 10. I mean, they've dragged them across the field. They've stretched the play, allowing Brunskill and on this side, Waters on the other to get into those areas, Mitch, and it's paid dividends for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Zukoski. Nice little run from him. Still going, Zukoski. Nice little chop. Looks to slide it through to Shields, who had already made the run 5 minutes ago, I think.
Yeah, he was on his way back again.
Well, this one, with 11 minutes to go or so, is blown out slightly. We knew there'd be goals today.
Yeah, and this is a tough 11 minutes now for 10 men. It's about limiting the damage.
And possibly not getting any more injuries, which is the important thing, I guess. You got no more subs to bring on, but the last thing they want is more players to be injured. And we've got a substitution here for Canberra FC. Aidan Brunskill is done.
Maybe Ross Costanzo, I'd assume, coming on.
Yep, it will be Ross Costanzo for Brunskill. Brunskill's been around for a long time, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Like I said, I'd be interested to know what his total appearances are, but he's been a real wonderful servant for this club for many, many years now, and again, liked by all.
And Ross Costanzo, young defender, had a couple of clubs already. Hasn't really settled at one, has he?
Not quite. You know, when he first sort of came in there, and I thought he looked really good when he first was at Belconnen. But like I said, he's got some competition on this flank here in Brunskill, and Jordan Lamb's capable of playing there too, so he's going to have to work hard to.
Here's Zukoski. He's looked lively since he's come on. Vijafanye, back to Keita, whose defensive performance certainly doesn't deserve to be on the end of a 5-goal.
I don't think the team probably deserves the 5-2, but again, this is a class Canberra FC side, and they'll put you to the sword when they have those opportunities.
Bit of midfield tussle, and ball breaks for Keir. Danning's made the run, didn't quite force him through. Didn't get enough on it, Ryan Keir. Colacello. Keita. Tigers looking to bring their midfield into play. And Gerbish has come back and he's just drilled that straight into Vijafanye, who swings it into the penalty area, and coming in was Kalfas. Couldn't get on the end of it. And now Lamb is away. Turns on the afterburners, looks to take on Daramy, who goes down. Beaten comfortably with a little cutback. Was fully committed to that challenge, wasn't he, Daramy?
He was.
Here's Costanzo's first touch. Now Keir. Subasic. Graham in the middle of the park. Sweeps it to Verkic. Now working it wide again. Looking for James. He's swinging that to the far post. That's too far for Jordan Lamb, though, now to play. And Mitch, with just under 10 minutes to go, you look at this Canberra FC team, they are 4 from 4. They're going to be 4 from 4 when this finishes. They've got bags of goals in them. You look at their bench as well. They haven't had a good couple of seasons. It's been pretty poor from their point of view. Are they the real deal again this year?
Well, you'd like to think so. I mean, there wasn't massive changes required, but people like Macabresha and Thomas James coming back in give quality and that extra little bit of depth to what was needed.
Kalfas looks for Shields over the top, and Shields may get there, but Thurtell's come and read it. 2 quality goalkeepers as well. So Paul Makor, if anything, does he need to just keep everybody happy? Is that difficult?
Well, and that sometimes is a challenge, but I tell you what, when you're winning football matches, it's a lot easier to explain why someone's not in a lineup. It's when you start... Well,
here's Waters on the overlap. Can he deliver? Chips it towards the penalty area. It's not clear, and Colacello will pick it up. You have to remember it's Makel's first season as well, and he's settled in really well. Ryan Keir clips it into the air. It's a demanding football club, this one, isn't it? You don't
Absolutely.
get much. I often say about Robbie Graham when he was here, lost 1 football match in about 2 seasons and was out on his ear.
It's, I mean, like I said, if there's one club that expects to win, it's this one. It's every game. There's an expectation you do it, and then you do it in a certain style too.
Yeah, the fans here are quite demanding as well, and the sponsors and the board as well. I mean, it's a very good football club, and like you say, they enjoy winning. They're used to winning. And they haven't done so for the last couple of years, so they'll be keen to get back in the winner's circle. That's a good ball looking for Danning. It's going to bounce through, and Cole was quickest to react. Vijafanye, forward to Shields. Colacello. Tonini. That's a good ball as well, and Shields has continued his run. It's a nice move that from Tigers, and Subasic had to be on his toes defensively.
There's plenty to take from this Tigers FC. I know the score says 5-2, but I think Gabby will be pleased with it. Like I said, as disappointing it is with a red card, but 3 injuries and you're at a tough place to play. I think they've actually played quite well at times.
Ball's clipped into the area and Lamb volleys it away. Colacello will bring it down. Looking to deliver. Finds the ball to Vigifanier. And he clips it onto the left foot into the penalty area. If the tell came, Subasic won it. And Keir finds Lamb in a bit of space. Now, can Jordan Lamb break? Now, Danning's made a huge run on the far side and no one's picked him up. And Danning's going to be onside here. He'll have to do it on his own because he's got no support. Looking to take on Keita, and Keita stands him up and defensively does a very good job. Again, we've said that numerous times this afternoon. A couple of results from this morning. Mitch, NPL 18, Canberra FC 2, Tigers 2. And in the under-20s game that preceded this one, Canberra FC 2, Tigers 5. So nice symmetry there for the first grade. If we don't get any more goals, Kalfas in behind. Chance for Nikos Kalfas. Falls on for Shields, who takes over. It's back to Kalfas again, and he's blazed it over the crossbar. A really good chance. Goes begging. It was that Vigifanier in there, sorry, who was in there. Thought about shooting himself.
Zukowski actually did that work there.
Was it Zukowski? Sorry, I apologise for Nick Zukowski. I thought he was going to shoot himself.
Exactly, he rolled that ball back quite nicely, and again, Kalfas, I think, probably if he had his time again, would think he'd do better than that.
I didn't expect Zukowski to be that far forward at this stage. He got in well, didn't he? And then Kalfas rather fluffed his lines. With 6 minutes to go. Some frustration amongst the Kuma Tigers players on the field. Here's Verkic. To Graham. Searching ball, looking for Lamb, who's got in behind. Jordan Lamb, good ball into the air. Danning arrives, couldn't get a touch on it. It's going to fall for Waters instead. He pulls it back. Chance for Keir, and he side foots it past the goalkeeper into the corner, but it will not count. The flag is up for some reason.
I'm not sure, was it?
Now then,
Denning originally was offside.
Well, it wouldn't have been Lamb, would it? It wouldn't have been Jordan Lamb, because he was the one that ran past the player onside. Now, he seemed to cut that back to Danning. So unless Danning pushed someone in the penalty area, Bruno Kell's come across to have a chat with Dudley on this near side. We'll clear this one up very shortly. The flag did go up. Having a chat about it. Interesting to see. Obviously, we can't see the angle from here, Mitch, but unless there was a shove, you'd worry. Well, sure. It doesn't look like there's going to be. And the goal is awarded. Ryan Keir brings up half a dozen for Canberra FC. That confused us a bit.
I do wonder what he's flagged for then.
Yeah, unusual, but Canberra FC aren't going to complain, and with 4 minutes to go, they bring up a 6th. And Ryan Keir, didn't he take it well?
Beautiful little finish. Again, I'm just a little bit perplexed as to what the assistant has seen there that warranted the discussion in the first place. But that's one ball. Ian Graham's knocked a wonderful diagonal. Jordan Lamb's delivered that across, and then again they finished it well.
Yeah, Waters brought it down and just picked out the pass, and it was beautifully finished from Keir. You see a lot of people snatch at those kind of chances. You compare that to the Kalfas one just a moment ago. It's a little bit different, but they've gone from halfway.
But there's been a real composure when they've gone into those wide areas, Canberra FC, picking the right pass, and then, like I said, the composure to finish it. It's all been there. They've been absolutely clinical.
Here they come again. James gets in behind. No flag for Thomas James. Timed his run well. Looks for Keir, who comes in. Ryan Keir again! 2 in a minute for Ryan Keir. Beautifully placed header. And Canberra FC have 7.
Like I said, I really do feel for Gabby here.
Wonderful ball in, Mitch, and Ryan Keir came onto it, and he just nodded it in, and Ian Graham's giving him the old bow there. Beautiful play from Canberra FC.
That's a brilliant header too, though. Wonderful ball, but that finish is outstanding. And again, yeah.
Been question marks over the fitness of Ryan Keir, but if he comes off the bench and scores 2 in 2 minutes...
Take it.
And you have to feel a bit sorry for Canberra, for Tigers, whose best laid plans have been shattered here today. We did worry about them defensively beforehand, but the turning point was a red card to Osman Fofana. Since then, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
And make no mistake, it's...
And Keir's in there winning the ball now. He's got James in front. Is there more to come for FC? Might break for Lamb. Out comes Cole. Not been a happy return to his hold anti-ground for the goalkeeper.
No, he'll be happy when that full-time whistle goes.
Which will be in 90 seconds plus stoppage time. I wonder if there's a mercy rule, whether there'll be much stoppage time. Costanzo to Keir, who's on a hat-trick. Lovely ball to Danning, who's also on a hat-trick. He's got Waters making the run ahead of him. Here goes Waters into the area. Prods it past the goalkeeper, but it came off the side of the post, and it'll be a corner.
Corner given.
They're in ruthless form at the moment, and they're looking clinical every time they come forward. This is the Canberra FC of old, Midge.
This is what you used to be so scared of, coming here and being on the end of something like this.
They used to be able to turn it on whenever they wanted to, and there was goals galore. Some of their former players in the stands here, Adam Spalletta, Michael Spalletta, sat not too far from us, and they were the architects of many of these things.
Two outstanding footballers, and again, back in the day, particularly, there's times where you turn up and...
James comes in, sorry, there's a header, and it should have been another. Keir was in again, and he's missed the easiest chance he's had. Ryan Keir should have made it 8.
Looked like a sitter, didn't it, from here? Easier to score.
Well, 30 seconds to go, and Ryan Keir possibly should have had a 3-minute hat-trick. Let them off the hook there.
He's a real threat in the air.
Great corner as well.
Yeah, the delivery was outstanding.
Delivered it superbly, and he'll be disappointed, I think. Here's Shields.
The two he scored were more difficult than that one, I reckon.
Absolutely, as I say, he's missed the hardest one, the easiest one. Here's Sikorsky. He's looked a bright spark since he's come on. Vijafanye to Colicello.
Shields is trying to get the troops going here because everyone's heads have gone down. And
well, Sikorsky hasn't given up. I've been quite impressed by him.
He's definitely tried to change it. He's tried to do something, and like I said, it's incredibly difficult. 10 men at the best of times.
Daramy into the area. Gerbisher wins the header. Tanini goes in, but Thurtell wins it. We're into stoppage time. Out goes Shields, James rather, and here's a run for Lamb on this near side. Danning's in there too. Spaseski needs to be careful and is going to win his team a free kick. Kofi Danning just catches him. You did call it a bit earlier, Mitch, when you said that there may be gaps opening and they need to be careful. They've rolled the dice to try and get back into it, and it cost them.
And yeah, with pace of Kofi Danning and Thomas James, and we've seen Jordan Lamb, obviously we knew he had an engine and he's capable of getting on and doing the damage. I mean, the scary thing is that someone like Ivan Pavlak is still on the bench over there.
Yeah, hasn't been needed this afternoon. Here's Lamb. Costanzo. Good switch from Subasic.
Yeah, the ability to change the direction of play has been outstanding. They've got a number of people capable of knocking that kind of pass.
And the touch when he gets there as well.
It's quick.
Spot on.
They're facing forward. They're ready to attack you again.
Here's James and Bruno Kell as Verkic went forward to try and add another. Brings the pain to an end for Tigers FC. It's a magnificent 7 for Canberra FC here at Deakin Stadium. And Mitch, if they weren't a threat for the title before, which we all knew they probably are, that performance out there has really given everybody else something to think about.
If you didn't know it already, like I said, this is a really fearsome attack. One thing I suppose the rest of us will take, we'll be happy to see 2 on the board against them. So there is a vulnerable side to them, but like I said, you got to keep them under 7.
Yeah, next week there's some interesting fixtures as well. They go to Belconnen United, who will watch the video of this probably, and how do they stop it?
And that's a big one for Marzi over there, is that getting the troops ready to go. I haven't heard the final score over at Riverside, but they'll be hoping to get the 3 points from that and set up tactically to try and nullify this excellent Canberra FC side.
Well, you've got a bye next week.
Yep.
Thanks for your company this afternoon, Mitch.
Thanks
Bit of
for
work for
having me.
you boys on the training ground this week to try and rectify the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, of course, and I think I've mentioned it before in a couple of conversations that it's about going back to some of the basics. I think that's where we've missed out, is are sort of just assuming things are going to work and looking at the guy next to you, whereas you've just got to focus on your job.
Well, when Nicholas Vijafanye gave the Tigers an 11th minute lead, we didn't know what we were going to get from the game. We expected goals. There was lots of them. Daniel Subasic equalised within a couple of minutes for Canberra FC. Then Thomas James put them 2-1 up. But Vijafanye's free kick was misjudged by Thurtell, and it was 2-2 at the break. And we were looking like it was going to be the kind of game which could have gone either way. A red card, though, to Osman Fofana for Tigers FC cost them dearly. Goals in the second half from Thomas James 2, Kofi Danning, and a brace from Ryan Keir, who probably should have had an extra one at the end. But he's not too greedy. He's happy. Canberra FC are happy. The full-time score here, live on Bar TV Sports at Deakin Stadium. It's finished Canberra FC 7, Tigers FC 2.